After my diagnosis, I had to completely change how I travel, or I wasn't able to travel. Hey, y'all, I'm Keisha, and welcome back to Cruise Without Compromise. And I just want to, hop on here and just actually tell you all how I travel. So, if you remember from my last video, um, I'm living with ERSD, which is End Renal Stage Disease. I think I said the acronyms wrong last time. And I'm also living with Congestive Heart Failure, CHF. And cruising is what works for my body. I have taken some land trips and they've been okay, but I just love cruising and it actually works for my body. So today in this video, I want to just go over a few things on how I actually travel with this. Um, so first, I, I'll make sure, like if the first thing is, I rest when I need to. And what I mean is, like I said, I really plan out my days strategically. Next, I always pick cruises that works for me. Um, like for instance, I just picked a 6-day cruise, and that did not work for me. While I enjoyed the cruise on Princess because it was a graduation cruise from when I was in my previous host agency, I took my son on this cruise for his 21st birthday, and 6 days don't work for me because when I originally started cruising, um, like my first cruise back in 2017, it was only for 4 days. And who will know, how convenient would that be that I found out that 4 to 5 days is all I need because coming down the line, I would end up with these illnesses. So my second cruise, I think, was like 5 days. So even though 6 days, I like, that's just one more day, but it's really not when I already like to be to the port a day before my ship leaves. So I was out of town for 7 days. So that don't work for me. So I think that I know for a fact that 3 to 5 day cruises will be the cruises that I book from now on, especially dealing with my ailments and my illnesses and stuff. So that's one thing I do. Make sure I strategically plan and understand my body and what has worked for me in the past. Now that I've tried to do things, now that I'm having to do things differently. So yeah, it won't be nothing but a 3 to 5 day cruise for me. What else? And pace myself. So, like, certain days, if I'm, feeling a little different than I felt when I first got there, because of course I'm excited, things like that, I pace myself. Like I said, I will get into a video on that a little later, like, okay, well, how do I know which days? I don't know. So I will get into that. Like, okay, if I plan this on this day, if I need to change some stuff, I will get into all of that later. But those are like the main three things that I have done differently. Like the first thing is, like I said, I always consult with my doctor. I will always tell you that. Consult with your doctor. Let them know that, hey, I'm booking a trip or I've booked the trip. These are the days I'm going. They will tell you if you need to do any extra um, appointment so they could just make sure that you have everything you need, that your body, your vitals are reading correctly. Because like I had one trip, for instance, like I said, I go a little deeper into that in another video, but I had one trip where this last trip where she was like, you need to come back to the hospital, the doctor, because if my blood pressure was high. And I don't know why my blood pressure was high. I don't know if it's because the CHF, because I cough a lot or what, but like I said, my doctor was like actually telling me, my kidney doctor was like, well, if your blood pressure's down, you might, we might have to tell you that you can't go. So that's the first thing. Consult with your doctors in case they want to put you on any type of other additional medications. Then you have to take an emergency pack, because I know for me, I always, if you could relate to having, not CHF, but if you could relate to the kidney problems, they always tell you to take have your emergency kit pill, your emergency pill kit. I'm sorry, I said that so backwards, but have that. So, like I said, these are things that I would get into, like how do I schedule self care days, and what days do I schedule the pacing days, or whatever like that. So that's all that comes with knowing your body. That okay, usually around the third day, I might be at a little bit of overkill if I keep doing X, Y, Z. So on the third day, I just think I might want to just relax. Hopefully that is a day that we on, that we're just on a C day. Hopefully that's just a C day. So, like I said, that's another day another video that I will get into at a later date. But I just wanted to kind of get on here and kind of tell you how I've been moving differently since I have these illnesses so that I can travel. So like I said, first I talk to my doctor. Second, I rest when I need to. I'm not going to overdo it. You don't have to do everything at once. That's why cruises is best because, I'm not knocking land trips, but for me, cruises has been best because you can always go back to your stateroom. It's always going to be something going on a cruise, especially if it's a sea day. You're like, okay, now if it's a land day, I know you want to hope that your body feel the best. It's best so that you can get through all your excursions and actually see these different islands and different landmarks when you don't say these different countries. That's what I'm trying to think of. My bad, y'all. So, phone was acting crazy. But, yeah, so those are just some of the ways and the things I've been doing differently since I've had to move, different now that I've been diagnosed with this. So, yeah, like I said, on my next video, I'm going to dive into some of the daily things I do and, how I plan and prepare as I go out of town, and go on my cruises. Some of the things I do from day to day while I'm on my cruises to make sure I maximize my fun and my experience. But yeah, that's it for now. So if you like this video, please drop a comment. No negative comments, you'll be blocked. Please hit this bell button.